pretty specky scenery from here. This is just a lookout. I wonder why that's like that for. A bit of swell happening. A couple of waves come through. Heading across the Kangaroo Island today. So I've travelled a bit further east and south, I think, from Clare. You can see the ferry just in the foreground there. Heading down to Cape Jervis, that's where the ferry leaves from. Just in the lineup. Had to check in, went down there, did the COVID thing, and just a surname. Gave us a bunch of tickets for me, wherever the hell they are. I better find them, eh? Bunch of tickets. Trailer, car, me. Boss has got a ticket as well, so she's gone in. Looks like we're heading up. Moving a bit. Can't stay with the vehicles, just like the one from Lucky Bay across the Wallaroo. Can't stay with the vehicles when loaded up. So, as I say, the boss has gone up. She's going to walk on, and I'll go up and join her. Jeez, man, they're getting people to reverse up in there. That'd be interesting. Must only be able to get on and off one way. Oh, I guess we'll see what happens. Well, we reversed in there. Channel 24, so they give us a bit of guidance about how far to go back, so it's pretty helpful. Passenger lounge. Air conditioning's a bit chilly in here. A bit of swell happening. A couple of waves come through, probably 3 to 6 metres. Shook the boat up a bit. Got a couple of the kids screaming. Might sound muffled just because I got the face mask on. It's that COVID stuff. Not too far from Pennyshore, so where we dock up. Well, we've made it off the boat, ferry. Just waiting for the boss to come off now before I head towards Kingscote, I think it's called. Don't underestimate the distances you need to travel on Kangaroo Island to visit attractions. And that's what we're here for, visit attractions on Kangaroo Island. So it certainly won't be too much behind the street sort of stuff or off the beaten track. We're at Seal Bay at the Visitor Information Centre at the moment. It's about 50 k's I think from where we're staying at Kingscote. We're heading down to a place called Remarkable Rocks. It's about 115 kilometres from Kingscote. That's just one way. Just paid for access to the boardwalk. There's a guided tour here as well. I think it's about $34 per person, but you need to book it, so don't expect to be able to get a ticket if you just rock up like we have. There's a whale skeleton down here. We might see it a bit closer when we get around a bit further on the boardwalk. Trick here is to spot the seals. There's the whale skeleton just there. You should be able to spot them a lot easier out here. Oh, lying around. Well, the cost actually was $14 going in. It's concession price, adult price $17. You can see it there, family $45. Tip, if you're heading across this way and you want to go and do some of the national parks, it may pay to get a multi-entry permit. Just had to pay another $10 each. That was concession. I think it's $14 normal to get in here, which is down there, Remarkable Rocks. I think we've still got a few k's to go yet, but getting close. Most of you will know, likely. There was quite a large fire that went through parts of Kangaroo Island recently. You can see that in the trees around here. There's a lighthouse just up there. Come down to a place called Admiral's Arch. There's a fur seal colony here too. We just passed that. Not close enough for the GoPro to get in there and have a look. You can see the weather's taken a turn for the worse as well, so some fur seals on the rocks down here. You won't pick them up because they're black as well. Naught I can do about the wind. You can see that the access down to where we're heading is all man-made, which is cool, I suppose. Just like the temperature. Well, there's a couple of seals a bit closer here. I should be able to zoom in on editing. It's going to give the lens a wipe. Hopefully that's a bit better. You can smell them anyhow. Ooh-wee. Well, this is what it's about. Yeah, the weather's not too bad down here. Just walking back, mind my own business. I was looking over this little rock over here. It's actually sheep on top of it. I mentioned before that there was a lighthouse here. This was completed in 1909, all handmade. Stonemasons. So we're just up from Admiralty Arch. There's some private cabins up here too you can rent out if you're so inclined to stay up this way. I wonder why that's like that for. Just driving along some dirt tracks, found a beach access. Been following it for a little while. Well, a dirt track along the beach. We're near a place called Red Banks on Hammer Maps. Looks like there's an oyster lease. Red Banks would be up that way. An oyster lease up that way. So I mentioned before that up this way was Red Banks. So here we are. Looks like there's an old axle down there. And
yeah, no, I thought the same thing about down
further off the distance there's the old Leuster sort of lease. It's a little bit further down that way. Pretty cool, eh? Just pulled into Falls Cape Winery. Parked out back where the buses and caravans and stuff are.
Oh, I haven't got my mask.
Parking area is a little bit small for us. Just come here for a taste of wine and lunch or nibbles. Bit of dirt road to get here, but it's pretty well maintained. Another day on the road, trucking around Kangaroo Island. Stokes Bay we're at. Boat ramp just over in front of us. Don't know if it's a public one though. Nice little spot. This is the beach. And I see the boss over there. She's at the beach access. Nicer day today, plenty of blue sky. It's a nice little campground just around to our left on the way in. And here on the beach front there's it's a nice little camp area. Sign over in the rock, that's where the boss went. Actually goes around to a beach area around the headland here. About 1947 there was a bunch of blokes who got together and carved a tunnel through the rocks instead of having to go all the way around. Well, the boss has pressured me in to go for a walk. Check out this beach access that I've just talked about. Oh, of course, you let me come all the way up here first. Could let me keep on going a little bit further before you said no, this way. So when those blokes built this, or dug it out, they used the rubble and stuff to fill in the track. Here we go. Somebody out there fishing. This is more like a beach, isn't it, eh? Getting close to our most furthest destination today. Pulled into a place called Harvey's Return. It's a little campground, part of the devastated area of bushfires early 2000. Not beachfront, but nice ocean views out that way. See a lot of these grass trees with seed pods that have been thrown up. A few dead ones too. Interesting how the Australian natives throw out the foliage even after being burnt. All up their branches and trunks and stuff. Not all of the trees are like that though. A lot of them have been burnt really bad and haven't survived. Harvey's Return Cemetery. This is the Lightkeepers Cemetery. First recorded burial here was in 1858. Captain Woodward, 13th of September. 16 people buried here. And we're heading down to the Cape Water Lighthouse just to have a look around. Some of these markers would be reasonably new, only because of the fire that came through here last year. Just reading the plaque on this headstone, it says, in memory of Timothy Bartley, last lighthouse keeper in South Australia, 1930 to 2015. 85 years of age. So where we are, Pennyshaw's over here, that's where the ferry comes across from the mainland. Kingscliff's there where we're staying. We went for a track up to there, then back across to here, down this road, and now we're over here. Cape Border, just there. Now try and follow this little track. Find it. Back down this way. Oh, pretty specky scenery from here. This is just a lookout. Still haven't got to Cape Border Lighthouse. The sun's just not quite in the right position. In the national park proper now, so mentioned earlier that you come to the national parks over this way, make sure you get a multi-use access. Cape Quarter. You can actually rent some of the cottages here. Must admit I haven't looked at what it would cost to stay at some place like this. The facility here was established in 1858. Probably a good reason why the graveyard was where it is. A bit hard to dig graves in rock. These are the old lightkeepers' residences. Wouldn't have had gas bulbs back in the day, but water storage. Despite my early observation about another speck out there being a boat, I'm not convinced anymore it hasn't got any headway, so I'm just wondering whether it's rock or it might be a navigation aid. Just a heads up, a bit of wind coming at you. Also spotted a seal down on the rocks. You won't see the GoPro, but I'll take some pictures with the Sony. Well, this is what we've come back down to this end of the island to have a look at. Remarkable rocks. A lot better day than it was the other day when we went to Admiralty Arch. Pretty well formed track here. And it just takes you a zigzag through all this sort of countryside. Up on these rocks which you can't go across. Oh, sign we just passed says that in here. It's called or declared a prohibited area. Selfie in here, see how windy it is, just check out the boss's hair. Mainland Australia over there. And you might see the ferry heading our way. It's pretty flat today. Heading back. Last night was our last night on KI, and today's just a pool for weather. Look at it. This is the ferry terminal at Penishore. Not much of a lineup of cars at the moment. Sunday morning, first ferry out. One of my first comments about being aware of how big Kangaroo Island is apt. It's apt because there's a lot to see and do here. But there's some distances you need to see if you're into the wildlife and nature and scenery and stuff. You certainly have to travel. A lot of boutique sort of sightseeing to do as well. That's wineries, distilleries, fresh produce, farms, bushwalks, bunch of tours as well. These guys are going out at the moment. I think they're going for a porpoise or dolphin tour. Would I come back? Yeah, the boss said I would come back. There's a couple of places where you sussed out and you would have seen some video of it already. Of some camps, but I reckon we'd come back to. Yeah, the ferries are just arrived. See the back draw platform being dropped. See the cars parked in there at really odd angles, eh? It must be just packed full of vehicles at the moment. School holidays started today's Sunday, as I mentioned earlier. Started on Friday. Well, the last school day was on Friday, so I guess coming to their peak season here. We're going to be boarding soon.
Still on the counter behind.
Channel 24 in CB.
Well, that's a bit crazy. Well, it's where it was left.
Probably going to be reversing it like we did on the way across. So I've got another GoPro up the front here. Take some video.
Just let Ben know that I'll put the beneficial papers in the back of the van. Will do.
Well, I've pulled out a line. I've been told to pull up beside this curb and they're going to reverse me up.
Some people, they go.
That's the UHF, the parking people. Here they'll reverse me up into the ferry when I get there. Just going to move you to the back of the car.
Good morning, I am pleased to have your attention. The tip that is ferry departing tenant sure is now ready for boarding. Passengers, once you have checked in, could you please make your way across the air bridge?
You want to reverse down for us on the left side there? Get a boat out at all? What are you going on? Lock it around. Sure, what?
Do you have another motorbike to go on there?
That's it, mate, we're on. Reversed up. Gotta wear the mask, take the boarding pass, take the keys, lock the car, turn the GoPro off in the back too, eh? Well, that's us on. Not too many cars left, as you can see. There's 4 over to the right, 2 more about to reverse up. Don't about this prime mover. Must be getting close to leave. There I am right down there. Tied the bike up. Thunderbolt. Couldn't have done that the other day because the swell. Take the head off just in case I lose it. Can't get out the front deck now, they've closed it all off. Coming into Cape Jervis, which is the other side of the ferry crossing from Pennyshore mainland here. About a 45-minute trip.